Hey guys, Neil Waterhouse. On last week's video, Leila Carver left a comment saying, "Hi Neil, thank you for your insights. However, for a newbie like me, it would be helpful if you would explain terms like 3PL and not assume everybody knows what that is. I assume it's a third-party shipper, not sure what the L stands for." Well, my apologies, Lee, for not explaining what a 3PL was in the video. So here now is the explanation of exactly what a 3PL is and also why many small eBay sellers as well as large eBay sellers are now choosing to use 3PLs. To use 3PLs. 3PL is simply an acronym for third-party logistics. In other words, you're using a third party to handle your logistics. The term logistics in the industry refers to the warehousing and shipping of your inventory to your customers to fulfill the customer's orders. In the past, this service was normally reserved for only the large companies. However, over the last few years, there's been a ton of new 3PLs entering the market, which has increased the competition tenfold. A lot of very small home businesses are taking advantage of using third-party logistics, as there are many advantages. By the way, another name used in the industry for third-party logistics companies is fulfillment houses. In other words, a company which fulfills customers' orders for you. This is how a 3PL/fulfillment company works. Let's say you have, say, 20 widgets in your garage and you have these listed on eBay. If you're not using a 3PL and you're using, say, the local postal system, every time one sells, you have to wrap up one widget, drive to the post office, stand in a queue, and then finally post the item. As you grow, you can get the postal companies and couriers to come to your house. Instead, if you choose to use the 3PL, you simply send the 20 widgets to your chosen 3PL, and they warehouse the 20 items for you. Every time one sells, you simply forward the name and the address of your customer, and they do the rest. They pick the item, they wrap it for you, and they ship it direct to your customer. Most 3PLs have accounts with all the major shipping companies and also the postal service. And because of their volume, they can normally offer discounted rates, which is normally cheaper than a small eBay seller can do. Obviously, the first question that comes up now is, how much does it cost to use a 3PL as opposed to doing it yourself? The costs, of course, vary depending on the size of your products and also the volume that you send out. And the only way to get an exact cost is to contact a local 3PL, request a quotation based on what you sell and how often you sell them. Also, get 3 quotes from 3 different 3PL companies. As a rough guide, warehousing costs from $2.50 for a pallet, and the pallet's normally about 1.5 meters high, but obviously the more volume you have, the cheaper it is. And then there's the picking fee, the wrapping fee, and the cost of the courier. Yes, this can mount up. However, 3PLs normally have very good rates with shipping companies, and they can set, simply as they send so many parcels every day. And these savings can offset the cost of the warehousing and packing. As well, a lot of other savings using 3PLs. As you grow your eBay business, you'll start needing to bring in staff to pack, and of course, if you're using a 3PL, you'll not need to bring in any packing staff. As anybody employs staff knows, there's a lot of additional costs and headaches with employing staff. Insurance, superannuation, sick days, holidays, blah. Just this alone can be enough to consider using a 3PL. Also, as eBay businesses grow, storage quickly becomes a problem. By using a 3PL, it's very simple to scale up and down as inventory levels ebb and flow. You no longer ever need to get a warehouse. If I was starting from scratch again, I wouldn't get a warehouse. When using a 3PL, you only pay for the space you use. Another huge bonus for using a 3PL is you can very easily outsource the labour to manage it. By manage, I mean copy the names and addresses of your customers from eBay to the 3PL. You can then go one step further and use software to automatically send the details of each sale to the 3PL, so it's fully automated. Another advantage of using a 3PL is you can get all your orders from your suppliers and send them direct to the 3PL, so you no longer have to stay home waiting for the couriers to arrive. By combining the low-cost outsourced labour and a 3PL, you can automate the whole logistics part of your business, which is a massive time saver, and it also enables you to live anywhere as you don't require any inventory or staff in your house. When choosing a 3PL, I highly recommend you use one which is central within your country in respect to where the majority of the population is. For example, in Australia, Sydney is the most central area based on population. The majority of orders come from Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. This way, if your inventory is warehoused in Sydney, the cost of shipping to your customers is the lowest. which gives you an edge. When looking for a 3PL in Sydney, the cheapest ones are normally always just out of the city, i.e. for Sydney, the western suburbs. This is due to the fact the cost of real estate is much lower on the outskirts of the city as opposed to the coast. And these savings, obviously, they can pass on to you. In the USA, UK, Europe and the rest of the world, we use Amazon as our 3PL. Amazon is, of course, another huge marketplace to sell your goods. However, Amazon is also a brilliant 3PL. Amazon has over 400 fulfillment houses scattered all over the world. FBA is a term used by Amazon. FBA means it's an acronym for Fulfillment by Amazon. Ollie, I hope that has answered your question. That's all for this week. If you're watching this video anywhere else besides my blog, please come on over to neilwaterhouse.com. It's where all the goodies are, it's where all the action is. Please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Please leave a comment below. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. I always read all your comments and I always do my best to reply to all of them. Please click on the share buttons below. Everybody loves a share. Until next week, guys, list more, sell more. This is Neil Waterhouse.